Good morning, everyone. Before we will start with our discussion, let us first answer the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? The old age question of which came first, the chicken or the egg, is often compared to the relationship between reading and writing. In much as the same way, it can be argued that reading and writing go hand in hand. One cannot exist without the other. Just as the egg must come first to create the chicken, so must reading come first to create writing. The act of reading is essential in the development of writing skills. Reading provides the foundation of knowledge and experience necessary for writing. Through reading, one gains a better understanding of literary techniques, sentence structure, and grammar. Without this fundamental knowledge, it would be impossible to create coherent and well-structured sentences. Writing, on the other hand, is the act of putting these skills to use. Through the practice of writing, one can hone and refine their writing abilities. Through writing, we can express our thoughts, opinions, and ideas in a manner that can be understood and appreciated. It is clear that reading and writing go hand in hand. Without reading, one cannot develop the necessary knowledge and skills for writing. And without writing, one cannot put those skills to use and express themselves clearly and effectively. In much as the same way, the chicken must come from the egg. Again, when we say reading and writing, they go hand in hand because they both require the same cognitive processes. When someone is reading, they are also processing the information they are taking in and learning how to construct sentences, phrases, and paragraphs. When someone is writing, they are using the same cognitive processes to think of ideas and put them into words. In addition, reading can help to improve writing skills as it helps to increase vocabulary, understanding grammar and sentence structure, and recognize good writing. What is meant by reading? Reading is the process of looking at a series of written symbols and getting meaning from them. When we read, we use our eyes to receive written symbols, letters, punctuation marks, and spaces. And we use our brain to convert them into words, sentences, and paragraphs that communicate something to us. Meanwhile, writing is the process of using symbols, letters of the alphabet, punctuation, and spaces to communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. Generally, we write using pen, pencil, handwritten, or a keyboard, which is for typing. With a pen or pencil, we usually write on a surface of such as paper or whiteboard. And for a keyboard is normally attached to a typewriter, computer, and mobile devices. Now, voice recognition programs allow those who can't see or use their hands to their thoughts transcribe. Writing entails a lot of preparations, gathering of materials, selecting and organizing the ideas which should be exact to the writer's purpose in writing. When a writer sits down to write a paragraph or paragraphs, he or she already has an idea or purpose in mind. These two variables determine the patterns of development or developing his piece of writing. Usually, the selection of patterns is unconscious. For instance, he would think I'll write a paragraph of persuasion. Rather, he or she would first decide to convince people of the need to conserve natural resources. Then he would write paragraph of persuasion. You can control your paragraphs more successfully if you are familiar with the patterns of developing a paragraph, and these patterns are discussed in this lesson. So we will tackle the narration and description as patterns of written text across disciplines. For today's lesson, we're going to compare and contrast patterns of written text across disciplines. We'll basically focus on narration and description. Remember the time when you told your friend how your ex-boyfriend cheated on you? Or when you wrote an essay about your teacher asked you to write about the things you did during vacation? Or maybe when you answered your mom's question about how your day was. Those situations were examples of narration. What is meant by narration? Narration is a story written to explain what, when, and who. It reveals what a reader should learn. Narration paragraphs use the past form of the verb and are usually written in chronological order. Here are some transition words or phrases in narrative writing. Transitional expressions can help tie ideas together. They also help your narrative flow from one paragraph or idea to another. Example of narrative text. The most unforgettable travel experience of my life was when my dad suggested going to the city of waterfalls, Calbayog City. During summer break, I had to admit that I was a bit hesitant, not knowing what to expect as it seemed to be the opposite of the big city travel experiences I was used to. But I think that the reason why I love Calbayog City so much was because it wasn't like a big city experience. There was a certain level of beauty, solitude, and happiness exploring the city of the waterfalls. During our vacation in Calbayog City, it was refreshing and somehow freeing to be able to go on a zipline adventure in Malahog, one of the best beaches in Calbayog City. And yes, I wasn't surrounded by the big shops, museums, or modern landmarks that usually give me joy in a big city destinations, but I was able to get the same level of fun and satisfaction with the nature around me. I still am a big city girl, but I think that the reason why Calbayog City is the most unforgettable travel experience is because on top of everything else, it taught me that sometimes the most fulfilling memories happen where you least expected them. For our activity, just choose only one among the options. Number one, write a 150-word narrative text about your embarrassing moment. For number two, write a 150-word narrative text about the most unforgettable vacation. And for number three, write a 150-word narrative text about the time you told your friend how your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend cheated on you. Alright, so this time let's move on with our another topic for this morning, which is the description. Now, description, similar with narration for having many specific details, description emphasizes the senses of painting a picture of how someone looks, sounds, smells, tastes, or feels. Description is often used to establish a mood and atmosphere. Here are some transition words, phrases, and descriptive writing. Transitional expressions can help tie ideas together. They also reveal organizational pattern to help you construct an effective descriptive paragraph. Here is an example of descriptive text or descriptive paragraph. For our activity, you just have to choose only one. For number one, write a 150-word descriptive text about your mother or father. For number two, write a 150-word descriptive text about your family. For number three, write a 150-word descriptive text about your boyfriend or girlfriend. And for number 4, write 150-word descriptive text about your hobbies. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!